He just made himself laugh. Like a 12-year-old.
You're so funny. You make yourself laugh.
Clack, clack, clack. Are we recording? Yes, we're recording.
Hopkinsville Goblin UFO shootout incident.
Kelly.
Go.
Chumming with the spirits, knocking on the unknown. Round the fire we tell tales of the places we've gone. Raise your glass for the things we can't see. Three fools just drifting in eternity.
Welcome to another episode of Chumming with the Spirits. You have JD, Parachum.
Yeah, we have AAJD.
AA, Ron. Try it one more time.
So we're going to take a shot to start this out.
Oh.
First official shot of the night that almost got spilled.
Second one, but we're not counting it.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This episode, we're going to cover a near and dear UFO episode of Parachums.
No, not when I went and got probed.
No. Well, I'm just saying, I mean, this is one that you've recently researched.
I mean, like, really recent. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Kelly/Hopkinsville Goblin.
So it's often referred to as the Hopkinsville Goblin incident.
And where was it at? Located?
It was in 1955 in Kelly, Kentucky. Well, I mean,
In between Kelly
in between Kelly and Hopkinsville, it was a little holler that the families lived in. So it wasn't really in a town district per se. The thing that interests me is that we're dealing with 1955, just 8 years after a major world renowned incident that happened completely across the United States, which was the Roswell UFO crash.
Oh, you mean the weather balloon?
I mean, the weather balloon.
That's right. Yes, the government backed that up. It's proven.
And in my opinion, this incident is far more well documented and terrifying than those incidents that happened that are actually more renowned. So when I say that, you say Roswell UFO crash or, the Betty and Barney Hill UFO abduction. Most people that don't know paranormal are going to recognize those names.
Or the Elmwood.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, nice.
This one, in my opinion, trumps those incidents, but it's not well known unless you're in the field or doing research.
Some of it is because it was debunked.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But
you're absolutely right. When I started researching this, the amount of eyewitness documentation on it,
it's all through the charts.
Is probably the highest, other than the
Lubbock lights.
Yeah. Which is fairly modern.
But when you're absolutely right. But when you take those two accounts and correlate them to one another, the Lubbock lights were just lights.
Yeah.
This wasn't just lights. This was...
They had lights. They had creature encounters. And we're talking about, it was a large group of people. It was 5 adults, 7 children.
Yeah, 12. 5 plus 7 is 12 people.
Parachum mathin'. Already.
Even at K-State, it comes up to 12.
Wow.
It does.
But the...
just like their touchdowns.
The parents or the adults and the children went to the sheriff after they had this incident.
Yeah.
And they documented everything that they saw to the sheriff's department.
The thing that struck me the most was with the initial encounter with law enforcement. They were like, do we need to contact the U.S. Air Force to get their involvement? And the police were like, no, we don't know what we're dealing with. We can call them later on if need be.
But they ended up having
they ended up the Army. It was the Army from the nearby fort base. But if someone were to come and tell me a story that vivid and that terrifying and then ask if they should call the Air Force, I'd be like, yeah, that's absolutely what you should do. I'm not helping. Wouldn't.
Well, I mean, they didn't know what they were dealing with. In that kind of position, you're going to get all the facts you can and try to figure out, is this a BS story? Because we know from many conversations we have, if you don't have any kind of tangible evidence or proof, it's just a story.
Yeah.
And I say BS, I mean that with love. I'm not saying that you're full of BS. I'm just saying it's a good story, but
That's called phrasing.
yeah, thank you. And public education here as well. But saying that, if I'm the sheriff or whatever, I have some people call them hillbillies. I'm not saying that, but they've been documented as hillbillies. A family of them all having the same exact story. I'm going to be like, yeah, right.
But wouldn't that be collaboration?
Yeah, wouldn't
It
it be?
is, but all the stories were pretty much identical. If I saw what I thought was a Bigfoot and you saw a Bigfoot at a different angle, my story's not going to always match up with yours.
But if I say something that's slightly different than yours,
But that's what I'm saying. Theirs was all pretty much on point from what I read.
So can I jump in on that?
Of course you can.
So I would agree with you. You're going
to get your facts.
No, you're
military.
going the route of coercion.
Yeah.
You have to look at the fact that some of the witnesses were children, and you can't coerce details into children.
Well, I don't know the.
Does that
ages.
make sense?
I don't know yeah, it does. I don't know the ages of the children, but if you say something like, my mom grew up in a family that had a haunted house, and she heard the tales over and over, and she just basically repeated everything the adults said to her. So I take that into account as well.
but in one night,
in several hours.
But the kids were in that house while Billy Ray and Old Lucky went out there shooting aliens.
oh no, they didn't go out.
No, they stayed in.
Did. When they went out, they did go out off the porch and shot one off the pedestal.
Well,
But they also shot through the windows from
They did
inside.
at first.
And the first person to identify it was the young girl who was going out to get water. So if it was coercion,
Well, I thought, and then the story I read,
she saw the light streaking
Billy
across.
Ray and what was it? Lucky saw a rainbow colored ship in the backyard.
That was after the young girl had gone out to get well water,
and then
for
they
drinking,
went out and saw
and
the
she
ship.
saw the fiery streak across
Which
the.
they tried to say it was probably a meteor.
Right.
But how do you coerce a kid into saying something when they've seen it from their own eyes?
I think you can get a kid to believe in anything. I raised kids. You've raised kids. And if you say things over and over and over, the kids are going to jump on the story.
that's over
the course of years, lifetime.
and lifetimes. You're talking about in one night.
I'm telling you, I tell my kids something, it's gospel in my house back when they were young. That's my opinion.
Okay. No.
I say, hey, yeah, we just saw a vampire shoot straight up in the air. My son's going to say, yeah, we did. Didn't happen.
Okay. He's talking about the mayor, doesn't he?
Yeah, he knows what I'm talking about.
So
McIntyre Villa didn't happen.
Vampires aren't real.
Neither are shadow people.
Sally House didn't happen.
Yeah.
It wasn't on film.
That's why we're going back.
Yeah.
That's why we're going back.
I fell asleep on the couch, so I didn't record anything.
This particular episode, 1955, fairly recent after Roswell.
Yeah.
Out in the middle of nowhere. A lot of things have been tagged onto it over the years, though. This is where it kind of gets a little interesting because they described a pointed-eared 2 to 4 foot tall creatures, multiple, that were silver. It had been misconstrued later on that they were green, which is where the green Martians come from.
Right. And they were illuminated. They're luminescent.
They had a little glow to them, but they were seeing inside with yellow eyes.
Right. And when they came forward, they were not touching the ground. They were hovering above the ground, from my understanding.
And then they talked about that when they shot them, it made a metallic
noise.
Yeah, it made a metallic noise as if it was like bouncing off
metal or force field.
So one of the biggest things that kind of makes me think that this might have been a viable actual encounter is the fact that they said the creatures almost floated. They didn't walk. They were levitating.
They were hovering, yeah.
That's why they say they were owls.
Well,
Right.
there's several incidents that happened within, I think, 6 hours from one another. This incident, the Point Pleasant Mothman incident, and Madison, West Virginia, the Flatwoods Monster incident. When you go and look at the detailed accounts of the Flatwood Monsters incident, it's the same thing. It doesn't have the pointy ears, but it's a cloaked figure with like a big mane type of thing, alien, that hovers as it moves. So either this area has a high encounter rate for supernatural moonshine supernatural occurrences that may not be associated with extraterrestrials and UFOs, or there's something going on that is attracting these things to this area. That's just my opinion. The fact that they did end up getting military help to come in and work on the case, and literally hours after the police and law enforcement and military personnel left the family alone, they were encountered again.
And then they left.
For several hours, yes.
Till like 5 in the morning.
Till it started at like 3:30 and went on till 5 in the morning.
The second encounter you're talking
about. And one of them, I think it was Elmer, I think that was his name, Elmer Sutton, mentioned to the police officers that he had emptied an entire box of 22 caliber rounds, which is like over 200 rounds.
No, a box of 50.
No, so it was 4 boxes, because he said he had emptied 200 some rounds, and not a single one of them stuck its target. That's not possible, right?
So no, and that was one of the things, like, we get into, like OG was talking about, well, my kids, whatever I said is law. It wasn't just their kids. There were 7 kids of multiple families. So it's not just the dad saying, I mean, that's where it gets kind of hard to coerce 7 children with 5 parents. Then they go out and they take a look. And one of the debunking is like, oh, they saw barn owls because they have yellow eyes and they can fly silently.
And the sizes,
they were called great horned owls.
Great horned owls.
Yeah,
which are ears. I mean, they look like they have horns on the side.
Which are known for attacking people that are getting.
You know what I can hit? I can hit a clay target moving 30 miles an hour with a shotgun or a rifle if need be.
Well, Billy Ray said he hit it.
Yeah. And not one feather, not one drop of blood.
You can do that? Oh, that's impressive, dude.
It's called skeet shooting.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
Most skeets run at 10. You can Olympics, I think 15 to 20.
That's impressive.
Yeah, head size target moving. That's
wow.
Not really worried a whole about much.
So, but yeah, the fact that there were no feathers, and the fact that
there's no track.
Investigators and law enforcement went out there,
right?
Which corroborates the floating.
No, could be, you could go down the natural side of things. Maybe carbon monoxide poisoning in the building, which affected all of them.
Lead.
No, lead doesn't affect people like that. It takes a large amount of lead over a long period of time for you to even be that way. I would think noxious fumes of some sort cause hallucinations. People talked about, well, maybe they're on moonshine, but I mean, do you know how much moonshine you have to drink to start seeing?
Well, in the fact
now, probably not much for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's if it was a bad batch of moonshine and you're almost dying,
fermented or something like that.
But that can be kind of overturned because the
kids,
for one, the kids, it was a different time, so I'm not gonna speculate, but the fact that the mom was a severely God-fearing woman, she didn't even let anybody curse in the house, let alone have alcohol.
Well, that's called a good mom.
She didn't stop them from shooting from inside the house.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think if that did happen, they were all in fear for their lives. But I think if you're right, if they're on something that's changing the perspective of how they see things, and they see a mediator, and then that's a spaceship. Well, now remember, there's a space alien craze going on during this time, right?
Yeah. So one of the theories that they came about was that they were circus workers. So one of the theories was they had painted some monkeys silver.
Right.
That goes over real well.
Yeah.
And again, there was no evidence of silver monkeys.
Nope.
Feathers.
Well, another one. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean.
No, just saying that, like, the evidence, like maybe it was a meteorite, right? Or the fact that they saw lights. They went out, they found no footprints, no evidence, but there was firing from inside the house. That was documented. They could tell that windows had been shot out from inside. Right. For you to be at that level of terror, that to me leads into some plausible, there's something happened, whether it be, like you're saying, maybe carbon monoxide poisoning or something. They saw something that they fired at. They mentioned that they thought they had hit a few and it sounded like metal, no blood.
Right.
If it was monkeys, if it was owls, you would think you'd see tracks, you'd see feathers, you'd see blood. It, to me, as they debunked it, were really loose stuff. The other thing is Roswell didn't talk about aliens. No. It was just a crash site. Yes. So where did they get the idea that they were silver, pointed-eared, and webbed hands? They were very detailed on what they had, yellow glowing eyes.
Well, and the fact that multiple corroborators, family members, and the individual gentleman from WAP, WHOP radio station, drew relatively identical descriptions of the creatures. Really fascinated me. And it kind of brings me back to the Boggy Creek incident, where at one point, one of the young children was out on the porch and a giant clawed hand reached down from the roof to try to grab him, and they yanked the child back in. This wasn't just, from my point of view, just an observational intent attack. This was
they were up against the house,
were up against
windows, and they stated they were trying to get into
the house.
Well, they said they were walking toward their house with their hands up, like, hey, we come in peace. That they were trying to get into the house, and they're like, hey, we mean you no harm. Somehow they knew what this meant, having your hands above your head, like, we're coming. But saying that, Billy Ray said he shot the thing several times, one of them anyway,
and they just disappear.
And it rolled across it would roll and then it would come back. But they kept on coming like, hey, don't shoot.
But they were peering into the windows. They were peering through the doors. They were trying
on the roof.
Well, the window I knew about was the second one where the mom turned around. She am I really seeing this? And she looked in and it was still there. So
this was when they came back in the early morning, and they were actually on the roof and were shot at on the roof. And when they shot at them, what they were shooting at would just disappear and the bullets would go through nothing.
See, different kind of stories on how that happened. Because the ones I was reading as well, when he was shooting, it would roll across the yard and get back up and come floating.
The one that they shot him that was on the roof just disappeared.
But that's part of the problem, is trying to find the actual transcripts of what they told the sheriff and any other information on it. I mean, you have the book, but there's
the actual police report in here. You want me to read it? So this book is
no, but you could post it.
It's only like 2 sentences long.
Oh.
So
why don't you go ahead and read it?
Okay.
And we'll talk about how good of a shot Billy Ray really was.
This is a book I got off Amazon, which is really well done, by George Dunning. It's called the Kelly-Hopkinsville UFO and Alien Shootout. And I can read the actual police report that was filed without breaking the book.
So yeah, if you want more information on what we're talking about, please check out the book on Amazon. Also, subscribe, comment on what you think these were.
Yeah,
here's
so
the police report. This
is Glennie Langford's statement from the U.S. Air Force files. My name is blacked out, age 30, and I live at Hopkinsville, Route 6, Kentucky. On Sunday night, August 21st, at about 10:30 p.m., I was walking through the hallway, which is located in the middle of my house, and I looked out the back door south and saw a bright silver object about 2.5 feet tall appearing round. I became excited and did not look at it long enough to see if it had any eyes or move. I was about 15 or 20 feet away from it. I fell backward and then was carried into the bedroom. My 2 sons, aged 23, and his wife, 29, 21, and his wife, aged 27, and their friends, aged 21, and his wife, 18, were all in the house and saw this little man that looked like a monkey. About 3:30 a.m., I was in my bedroom and looked out the north window and saw a small silver shining object about 2.5 feet tall that had its hands on the screen looking in. I called for my sons and they shot it and it left. I was about 60 feet from it this time. I did not see it anymore. I have read the above statement and it is true to the best of my knowledge and belief. Sorry, I was stumbling there because they had a lot of blacked out stuff. So it was
called redacting.
Yeah, redacting. So the route that we were going was that they were hillbillies, right?
Which means nothing.
That was very well punctuated and verbiated. I don't know what word I'm looking for. Articulated. Thank you.
Oh,
I got it.
You did get it. That's well done.
For someone that might not have a well-rounded education.
Well, you remember in the late 1800s, people without even a third grade education still wrote and composed letters better than kids in college do these
That's
days.
true. You got me on that one.
It's absolutely true.
So I know we've been rambling on without asking people what they think, but like, let us know what you think in the comments and descriptions if you've heard about this incident or. Sorry, JD.
No, I was just saying.
Okay.
I already asked. What do they think? You know,
Yeah.
like, subscribe, and comment below on what you think. I mean, but definitely check the book out. The more you look into it, try Googling it.
And you're going to find different stories because you found a story different than what I found.
Yes, it was very hard to find.
Something reading than what we.
I mean,
did.
there's a ton of articles, but most of them are second or third hand accounts of what happened. And then when you get into, oh, well, yeah, this was debunked and this and that. And then you start going down the debunked. You're like, okay, that was owls.
Well, the government debunked it, man.
I know. It's probably debunked.
It's probably debunked. But my biggest, and I think it's a fascinating story. I can play it out in my mind, shooting these things and rolling around on the ground and coming back. To me, that's a phenomenal movie. But what got me was people are coming and asking questions. They're like, hey, we can make money here. And they started charging admission for people to come onto the land to ask questions.
But again, that's hearsay because there's no document.
No, that happened.
They have receipts and.
No, there's no receipts. No.
I'm just saying, if a monk can do it about Loch Ness, why can't you do it about a goblin?
Well, there you go.
I'm just saying, if you got people that are coming onto your land constantly, and we're talking 1955.
But let's be honest, the monks / priests did it to get the reporters and newspapers away, and all it did is bring more people in. And I think this family did it for 2 days, and they saw that it was not slowing anyone down. From what I read.
Well, and the fact that when you look at the actual incident, Boggy Creek was 1, 2, maybe 3 creatures. Like, we don't really.
They thought it was just probably 1.
I think 1. Yeah,
it probably could have been 2 over the time frame that it actually happened. But.
They were dealing with 12 to 15 of these creatures attacking the house. That's a huge difference when it comes to fear factor, as opposed to like one leprechaun trying to get in and maim you. Yeah, you got a whole squadron of leprechauns.
What got me was they were variations in height. They said it was 2 to 4 foot tall, depending on which ones. I mean, like that's what kind of threw me off. Like they were very descriptive of what they looked like.
That's the compelling part, right?
Yes.
And
It's like
you have
okay.
11 people that said the same thing.
And
then they go look at the house. That there's
They shot the hell up. Yeah.
You know, and like back then, you weren't going to call somebody to go fix that. You were the one fixing that.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're, you know, you're just making more problems for yourself. And like again, okay, they turn it into the sheriff. You know what type of backlash you're going to get?
Oh, absolutely.
1955,
there's no good coming out of this, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's where I honestly think it's because of Roswell that they did turn it in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they're like, this has to be something related or whatever versus them just, you know, letting it be and leaving it alone. Because they were going to be shunned. My
favorite part was the stories I was reading that Billy Ray, who obviously was a crack shot because every time he shot something, he hit it, per the report. But he kept on, hey, we're going to be okay. It's going to be, kept on reaffirming his family. Hey, I know you're scared. The people were screaming and crying in terror in the house per the report. And he kept on telling, hey, I shot it. I'm going to go after it. It's going to be okay. We're going to be okay.
But in all defense, are you going to go up to your family that's in fear and go like, we're all going to die?
No, but what I'm saying is that sounds like what a dad would do. A man in charge would do. Like, hey, you know what? We're going to get out of this. We're going to be okay.
That's right.
So that was the part of the story that was pretty compelling for me.
So let's each go down. That was yours. And what was your most compelling part of the story?
The lack of evidence of
physical evidence
on the outside of the house. Yeah. Because if the government wouldn't swept it, why would they say they found evidence?
Well, and this was about the time that Project Blue Book or Bluebeam was.
Yeah, they made a file for it, and then they said we debunked it because it was owls. And again, back then they had a shotgun and they had a pistol and they had a rifle. One of them would have hit an owl.
Oh yeah,
you would have had blood splatter. You would
think, right?
I would guarantee. Back then, everybody knew how. Especially you're out in Kentucky.
No, that's how you feed yourself, right?
I know.
So,
and an owl, a creature that's 2 to 4 foot tall.
Yeah,
that's easy shooting when it's on your porch.
Yeah.
So I want to get to that here in just a second.
So that's my compelling that there was no blood. They said they hit multiple things. They made it, a weird sound.
Yeah.
They did prove that the house had been shot from inside out.
Yeah.
Don't forget that Billy Ray, after he said he shot it, it was the same one he shot earlier. When he shot it the second time, it moved slower. So he thought he got to it. So, so whatever it was, a shield, a force field, or whatever.
Something was weakening.
Yeah, he can't break his heart. Does Achy break your heart?
That was Billy Ray.
Oh, well, this is Billy Ray's in the story as well.
Yeah.
So,
long line of achy breaky heart.
and a horrible haircut. I think I had one.
So I want to get back to the owl here in just a second, but
who?
that was a good one.
Oh, no way.
I think the most interesting thing to me about the whole situation was the fact that when they would hit them, they would either disappear or you would hear clinking, like metal hitting metal.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the eyewitnesses reported that they didn't walk, they hovered, but the mechanism for their movement seemed to come from their waist. To me, that signifies that they were wearing some sort of suit with propulsion system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, Rocketeer came out 1940.
Yeah, but that's
a backpack though. It's not a.
That was a backpack, but why not have it on the side?
The other was they tried to blame it on the bioluminescent fungus and the
foxfires.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, come on. These are people that live in that area.
Yeah. They're
not going to mistake a light glow compared to a light in the sky.
And the farmer, the neighbor that was a farmer as well that lived behind them, said he did see a sky light up and he saw flashes of light on their property.
Well, even some of the police officers mentioned that they had seen lights.
So, but he just, it's probably nothing kind of thing. So he didn't think much of it.
Yeah.
So we're going
Is
to
that collaboration?
We're going to take a break.
we're going to take a quick little break, and then we're going to come back and discuss some different theories about what this possibly could have been, and
besides aliens
or else,
and then get into some of the other events that might correlate to this that we might decide to look into. So we'll be right back after this short remedial commercial. Welcome back. Thank you for letting us go refill our drinks and use the wee-wee machine.
Shaking the dew off the lily.
Yep. Taking the snake out for a drink.
No, that's not how that goes.
That's not how that goes. Before we start, shots.
Cheers.
Oh my gosh.
That's nice. You okay? You better not throw up on me.
I'm good, man. Let's do this. Here we go.
So before we left, yeah, that makes sense. Before we left, we were talking about
Sinkhole Sam.
No, but we should have been. We were talking about what our most intriguing parts of the incident were.
Right.
And you had mentioned the owls. And I wanted to ask you the question when the last time we dealt with fucked up owls was. Do you think there's a correlation?
No.
Supernaturally?
No, not between ours and what they encountered. The owl gets brought up because it's a nocturnal creature that generally can be fairly large, and at given range, their eyes do glow reddish, depending on the breed, because of the light refraction.
Mm-hmm.
The great horn owl,
but they don't hover; they have footprints.
If they glide, though, they were one of the most silent birds.
But they can't glide standing straight up with their arms tucked in.
No, they don't stay that way. Yes. It is. I think it's one of those things of like, okay, you're at night, you're looking for a large creature that can hover. They go, oh, it's an owl. You know, that sounds retarded and trying to make its own.
Wouldn't use the hard R.
Yeah.
Well, I'm picturing in my mind how they're saying that they're came with a hand and how coming at you.
I mean, to be fair, I would still shoot it.
Well, isn't that how some owls walk with their wings up and they waddle?
I've never seen an owl.
What drugs are you on? No.
Or is that monkeys?
Monkeys
do
yeah,
that.
they do.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So no, it is on. I think it's because they try to think of any animals at night that are a certain size, eye color. And owls generally have a very large eye to skull ratio.
Well, in the great horned owl
has the pointed ear.
The pointed ears.
You know, they're not ears, but they're feathers. But
yeah, it looks like ears, right? It can be
misconstrued, but you're talking about people that live out in the woods. This is where, like, I mean, I get it. Like, if one of us was going down a road and we go, "Oh my God." It's a Bigfoot.
Down the road.
Yeah. Or
I was getting worried.
That was a dog man. And, you know, somebody goes, okay.
That was just Pete.
Sure. Versus a guy that's living in the woods. That's how they go get their food.
Yeah.
And they go,
oh fuck.
You saw an owl.
Yeah.
Yeah, motherfucker. That's why I shot it. No. Yeah. I mean, those are the compelling, like, they literally saw the bullet holes from inside going out.
Yeah.
Most people, and like we talked earlier, this is 1955. You normally would not say anything about this.
No, yeah, no.
There's no good that can come of that.
And I think it's because of Roswell being so close that's why. And they mentioned, should we bring the Air Force in on this?
And they even mentioned that they were nervous to go to the cops because of
wouldn't you?
Yeah, and
because you probably get locked up.
Well, because keep in mind,
really?
They didn't know whether or not their neighbors saw the lights or not, which the neighbor did.
Yeah. I
mean, there's a whole bunch of just corroborating evidence of something happened. I'm not saying UFO-esque, but there was lights other people saw, what they're seeing, and happened 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
middle of the night. I mean, if you're shooting through your own windows and doors, there's something out there. I mean, it's not like here, I mean,
No, if someone's coming at your door, you should be shooting too.
Yeah.
By the way,
I mean, the wine dot,
the dot.
But
you know what? I'd like to just take a quick pause, and we've been drinking a little bit.
Reflect.
And I mean, he's coming off so freaking dead on, and you're pronouncing your words, and you're very articulate, and you've had a lot to drink. And I have
no idea what you're talking about.
I'm just so impressed that you can do, because I'm slurring my words now. Damn it! He's coming off pretty articulate.
He's the bolt to our flimsy girders.
My girder is not flimsy. I
was military trained. Me and Mr. Orton talked about that. It's like it when you're in the military, there's you don't realize it, but there's a training regimen when it comes to drinking.
So
I'm just,
because we talked about, they're drinking moonshine. Well, if they were used to moonshine, it doesn't have the same effect.
That's true.
And that's where when people like, well, were you drinking? It's like, how much I would have to drink to start seeing green little aliens or silver ones? A lot.
So we're talking cases.
So I'm
of whiskey.
I'm loving everything you're saying. I like what you're saying. I mean, I do. I
like what you're doing.
Well, that's why the tablecloth's there. But anyway, I'm in the middle on this.
You are.
Yeah,
literally. No, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Especially if it was to happen now, today, and
people would be like,
I would give it less credit, because people say crazy stuff all the time. Yeah. You're talking about 19,
like vampires in parks and shit.
Yeah. Today people would just be like,
shadow.
But did you die, bro?
Across. Yeah.
I mean,
but there's just so many.
It's true, right?
I'm just saying, in 1955, you could lose your job. You could lose standing. Yeah. I mean,
in the community.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I mean, like
excommunication.
Yes. I mean, it's not like today where
that'd be horrible.
No, she was a church going. She would have been kicked out of church.
So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is like there's a lot more risk back then.
Versus today. It's more acceptable today. Right? Yeah.
I mean, it's more acceptable to be slightly crazy.
So, that's why we have the show, because
people like us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys
can subscribe and leave comments on.
Good plug. Good plug. Love it.
We are Chumming with the Spirits podcast. If you didn't know that.
Out of the greater Kansas City area.
Of the greater Kansas City with the shark logo. So in your twos, both yours opinions, when you look at some of the other incidents that take a place, because this is basically very close outskirts of Appalachia, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
It wasn't. Yeah, it's not necessarily Kentucky. It's on the cusp. Is there? What's the draw?
Say something like this?
No. Hear me out.
What's the draw?
What's the draw? Let me finish.
Bud Light.
What's the draw for that area for fucked up things happening?
Because no one's going to believe them.
Effed up people?
No, I'm being serious.
But when you look at other regions of the world, none of this amalgamation of phenomenon happen. Does that make sense?
Did you know UFO sightings majorly happen in English-speaking countries?
Yeah, but where I'm going with that is Appalachia in particular. You got Bigfoot, UFOs, aliens, Tommyknockers, skinwalkers, dogmen.
You have that in the Rocky Mountains too.
But not many other places in the world have the full gambit
of stuff. Kind of like the way the United States is one of the few places that has tornadoes. It's the environment.
But that's a single entity. So that's what I'm asking. What makes that area, in your opinion, unique?
Well, one, it's one of the oldest still existing mountain ranges. People don't realize that the Appalachians are way older. They're older than trees. That's how old that mountain range is. Like anything, it's still, it's heavily wooded. It's rough terrain, even today. I mean, there's passes.
And probably not a lot of population area,
No.
right? Not popular.
No, you got the coal mines, you got a few other things. But yeah, where we're talking like the haulers, there's not a whole lot of people.
Yeah. So maybe that's just, if this really happened, okay, I'm not saying it did, but hey, man, we're going to go fly and cruise around here. Had a problem. Boom. Oh, crap. There's someone here.
If you're going to interact with people, would you pick a 1 million population area?
Like China?
Or like New York, or would you go pick somewhere out in the middle that you can control fairly easy?
Well, yeah, I would choose the populated one because they would have more common sense not to shoot at me.
Okay, well,
But if you're not worried about it,
so if you're an alien,
I'm not trying to,
and you're trying to make peace, and you're coming with your hands raised up, and they start laying into you with the gun.
Yeah, but if you did that in Tokyo Square, right?
Oh yeah, you're Godzilla.
Now here's
you're Godzilla.
Here's the one thing that kind of gets left out is we assume they're coming in peace. What if they're there to abduct?
Well, I maybe
because you're out in the middle of nowhere. You could abduct them. People wouldn't know for
that's a good
2 or 3 days
and
drop them back off. You assume they were going to be asleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, and somebody had to use the bathroom. They were all awake.
Well, tell us. So when you were abducted, did they come with their hands up, and were you out camping with Jason, or was that someone else not doing the probing?
No, afterwards they said thank you, and they gave me $100.
$100 bill.
I'm
just saying, like,
and said, can you get us in contact with Dave?
Yeah.
Or OG, I'm sorry.
Yeah. We don't know who those guys are.
Yeah, who's Dave? But I'm just saying, like, I think there's a reason why it's these outskirts communities that this stuff happens in, because
that's interesting.
You have at least a chance of a large force coming in, plausible deniability. If they're intelligent and they're wanting to be kind of exclusive, you're not going to go to a highly populated area.
So I'm going to elaborate on that. You're talking Red Dawn scenario, right?
Kind of, yeah. You're on the outskirts, and you're checking out what the capabilities are.
Coming in through the back door,
recon,
as opposed to the front gates, right?
Yeah, versus, it didn't go well for LA, or at least the guys that tried to go to LA.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on if it wasn't hostile intent? Would they still use those same tactics?
Yeah.
Coming in through the back door?
Because they're gonna
I wasn't even trying to be dirty, and he went straight to it.
I would think yes. You might knock on the front door, but you're definitely going to go to the back door.
Definitely coming in it.
But
mother. So a friend of ours who's written several books. He's been on our podcast. Talked about alien abduction, and I was talking to him. What do they want? And he told me the reason the reason they're coming getting us or probing or whatever. We have something they don't have.
They're lonely.
They're lonely. Emotions, feelings. He said they don't have feelings and emotions.
So when they get probed, they're just like,
I think he thinks we're being studied. We're talking about recon. So the recon is per our friend
which
Carter.
We've also had other conversations with people talking about that the number of abductions and visits has dropped
since we've been altered,
since COVID,
since
COVID
DNA being altered from the COVID shot. So
that's crazy.
RNA.
Which could RNA, which means that maybe they are not necessarily alien. Maybe they're future coming back and they're trying to get
because they did something to themselves
and they're trying to get a true strain, of human DNA to be able to repopulate.
Whether they're really from out or if they're really just from here, right?
Yeah. Well,
we
there's theories going further back. The more stuff they find on Mars, like there's a theory that we actually started on Mars and moved here.
Yeah. So what he's
or vice versa,
what he's getting at is that aliens are actually Zod looking for the Kryptonian Codex.
they're
to
coming back in
fix
time.
something
and
that
it's
they've
not
done.
necessarily in time. It's for, when you start getting into theory of relativity and space travel, you run into reality distortions if you're traveling faster than the speed of light. I mean, there's a whole bunch of books on it, but there's a good chance they could be coming back.
Or they could.
That we'll cover it in time slips and portals.
Well, so we got
That's another,
yeah.
because that's where we're almost getting into.
Right.
But I'm just saying that I think if you're highly intelligent and you want to study something, you're not going to. I mean, you might.
You're not going to go to K-State.
No.
Right.
Jesus.
No, K-State, you guys got a great engineering program. I'm kidding.
Well, not agricultural.
Science. Grain science.
But I mean, if you're an alien and you see what you guys
Studying
do to
weeds.
cows,
Yeah,
I mean, why would they
absolutely.
stop there? I mean, other than they also do cattle mutilation too. I mean,
maybe cows are sacred to them, and they're trying to recreate. Maybe there's some
Yeah,
sort of
they're Buddhist.
protein
Buddhist.
in cows. It sounded like someone just came in. Maybe there's some sort of protein in cows that affected and got mutated in the future that caused them to be the way they are, and they're coming back to study to try to
they may
reciprocate that effect.
pulling the proteins and the organs. I mean, there's it's hard to say, but I think in 1955, for that many people to say this is what they saw, go to the sheriff's department.
Wide range of age.
Okay.
I mean, that would ruin you in that area if you did not think you had evidence.
That's real. You're. That's
Like I said, if it was now, everybody would just kind of, must have been doing meth, but
and they
but-
probably were.
they could have been.
Yeah. Like I
Was meth even created back then? Yeah, I didn't think so.
in some way, some sort of way.
I don't think so.
No, not meth.
I mean,
He's
there's
talking
other
about
other
there's
stuff.
other
Oh,
stuff.
halluc.
Yeah,
Hallucinogens in 1950.
licking the back of a toad, stuff like that. People that do.
What?
So yeah, I mean, it's a fascinating incident. I know.
It's a great.
I would hope you guys enjoyed researching it and learning about it.
I was
I had
more
a
frustrated. I was frustrated, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Trying to find.
Yeah, you were trying to pull up articles and stuff.
Yeah,
like that,
it was
right?
there. I mean, there are so many people that have covered this subject.
This is the only
And-
book I could find.
Yeah, but there's tons of podcasts. There's tons of websites on it. And there is a Kelly-Hopkinsville festival.
It's almost like it's being blackballed for a reason.
Really.
I mean, when I got into the debunking and the way what they were talking about, that's
It was
what
a
I
cover-up.
felt like. I literally
Yeah.
felt like, oh my, you guys like an owl? You're an owl? Like that's what you really
The
think?
silver monkey got me.
Yeah, that was a little far
But
stretched.
the owl, I can see an owl because of the size, and if we're talking about a horned owl with the
You
ears,
don't have
But
14 to
no.
15 horn owls.
yeah.
And you miss every single one of them?
Well, I don't think they missed.
I think they've got a slighter, bigger problem if
Yeah.
15 horned owls are trying to attack them.
Yeah, you got rats and snakes that the horn owls
Yeah.
live for. Well, and
That's
owls leave.
Doo-doo.
No, well, that and they upchuck the bones and that. There's there's you would find evidence of 14 to even 5 owls in the area. You would have evidence of that.
Yeah.
And the fact they're like, oh no, there's no footprints, there was no
Yeah.
tracks.
Yeah.
They shot the living dead.
Well,
The guys,
it
it
makes-
makes the government, and they're very thorough.
It makes you
Yeah.
wonder if there was evidence.
Yeah.
But they're just
not. The way they wrote it and the way they talked about it, and then
because you think they would have done radiation testing, all that kind of stuff.
you would have thought.
You would have thought.
Who said they didn't?
No, that's the whole thing. Is we don't know.
We don't.
You
No.
won't know. And then you brought up some good points that like they were charging money for people, but I mean, if I had 100 some people show up on the front of my acreage, I'm gonna like, yeah, $2, buddy.
You want to hear about this?
Yeah.
He's going to nowadays. That's going to cost you 20,
Yeah,
right?
but back
Well,
then,
yeah, no,
$1
that-
was a lot.
Yeah, it's probably
1955. That was a movie, popcorns, and
No,
snacks.
that was like a week hotel.
I'm just
Like, you
saying,
could get a whole hot meal for 15 cents.
you don't want to talk to people. You start throwing numbers out. If they still keep coming, at least you're getting paid for it.
well, your time's worth something, right?
Yeah.
for sure.
But it definitely is an interesting story.
It's a great story.
And the bad part of it is 1955. There's not a lot of technology back then. I mean, they had cameras. They're not like what they are. They were film based. And more likely, they would, if there was radiation, they would have exposed out.
And
anyways.
they were walking they were walking all over it, contaminating evidence. I mean, we're talking guys, out there just trying.
I'm wondering if anybody has ever done. Well, I mean, there wouldn't be. So I wonder if anybody's ever done research on the family members from the incident and how they died. Because
I didn't see anything on that.
If they died of unknown causes, they would have done an autopsy.
Did they have the 3 dots, the triangle,
or radiation poisoning?
Yep.
Well, the one thing that was
Burns.
the one thing that's compelling to me is that the mother, or whoever owned the property at the time, sold the property, and it sold like that. Why did it sell so quickly?
Because the government bought it.
Well, right, and she moved into town. She's like, I'm out.
Which is another corroborating effect that.
Yeah, if you were making the story
that you were going to be shunned, why would you move into town?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. She'd move to a different town, but no, she went into
she moved into that town. Yeah,
safety in numbers.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys think. Again, for the 4th time for us saying that.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
You're stuck around this long. Thank you. You're a champ.
And there's
leave a comment. Go, I made it. Oh my God.
Yes,
I've broken the seal happily with this incident that I feel like I might be able to suggest some more slightly less known UFO encounter incidents that these two might be interested in, judging by how excited and emotional they got over talking about this one, because I thought this was going to be a bummer episode.
It was a whiskey.
And I have to admit, I'm a little excited now.
Don't stand up.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to be able to see that.
He is a little excited. He is.
A wee bit excited. So thank you for watching. And again, like and subscribe. Go check out some of our other family members.
If you're on our channel, go down. We actually have all our friends of the podcast. You can like and subscribe underneath our channel. Too many to list, but some amazing people.
Oh, yeah.
And final words, please go check out our website that this gentleman over here, JD.
It's going to be upgraded soon by somebody else we know.
CWTSpodcast.com. You can not only go on there to see what we are, what we're about.
Contact us. Share our most popular video, latest video.
Buy merch. We got some pretty cool merch on there.
Awesome. And if you like our content, there's other content you can look at, people that we collaborate with as well, which I think we should probably mention them while we're, let's talk about that. I would say the first one I would check out would be Darkwood Paranormal. Great.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
Yeah, that's right.
My mind blanked.
I wouldn't go in there. But a really good podcast that we collaborate with. They have great stories, and they've been doing some lives on YouTube as well. So, good people.
We got Myth Monsters and Mullets, John
Method Camp.
Yeah.
The legend.
Matt Orton, Tommy McClure from Drunken Cryptid, Chris, Tony,
Jacob. They have a whole crew. I mean, Matt.
I forgot about Jacob. Sorry, Jacob.
Matt, but Drunken Cryptid out of North Little Rock, Arkansas. Amazing podcast, great interviews. Like John and Matthew are amazing interviewers.
Yeah,
they award winning.
We've all been on their.
Yes, we've all been
interviewed by them or on their show for sure.
Then we're going to get into Nevermore Hollows, which is Alan and Chris. Fantastic storytelling, great artist. Chris actually did Myth Monsters and Mullets logo.
Yeah, it's not
Justin and Jay's logo.
Justin and Jay's T-shirts, the ones that we.
Oh yeah,
they're the one. He's the one that drew those. Great. We're going to be able to hang out with them in October at the Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree, and of course,
it's almost October already.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, right. It's real.
Cryptids of the Corn, which has kind of been the small seed that started it all. They're the ones that helped Nevermore. They helped Matt. They helped John. Because of everything, how we met, I ended up going. I have an episode with them. I did a live podcast with them, and they did an interview on me. They have been so nice to the podcasting community. of trying to help out anybody that has questions. They've done live. We went and saw them do a live podcast with Drunken Cryptid.
Yep.
They're the germinators of our seeds.
Yeah, they're the ones that like flat out said if you think this is what you like, go ahead and do it.
Mhm.
You know, you can't like the fact that it helped so many people out. A new friend of the show is Ghost Gossip. She has finally got onto. She's been pretty big on TikTok. She's now on Facebook. You can find her on Spotify. She is starting to do videos. I'm trying to think who else.
Oh, you got the big son of a gun that shot Bigfoot in the butt.
With paintball. Yeah. That is
Makes me think of the great outdoors.
Cryptid Paranormal, Brian Goddard.
The hair on the butt.
We're waiting for him to release his first podcast episode, but you can find him at cryptidparanormal.com.
He's on TikTok, I believe, right?
Oh, he's on TikTok and Facebook.
Yeah.
Easy to find. A great guy to talk to.
Nice guy.
Knowledgeable and
Sharp, super sharp guy.
Great conversations. Sunflower Investigation and Paranormal. We can't forget 1869 McIntyre Villa, Stephanie. Then you got the Sleeper Mortuary, Tori.
Like you said, too many to mention.
Yeah. But
we did a pretty good job.
We try. I mean, because we have been blessed with all the people we've met this year.
Good people.
Amazing people.
And we can't forget you guys, Bob, Patsy, and Peyton.
Yeah, Peyton Paranormal. They're getting some pretty good information out there. We almost forgot Woodlife and
Jason.
Yeah.
And Strange Paranormal.
Strange Paranormal. Ectoplasm.
The Ectoplasm podcast.
Yeah. So and he was just out at a pretty famous location. So hopefully soon we'll have him back on, kind of recap the Paracon KC. We've been really busy. We haven't had time to really have him hop back.
Something called life, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
It's been crazy.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching. And until next time,
Be safe.
see you.
Take care.